It was not.
Ooh.
That's funny.
Just waiting for that glorious notification to say that we are now live. I'm not getting it, but there we go. Now we are live. Hello everyone and welcome to this Super Formula event here at the Red Bull Ring on GT Sport. And who is joining me in the commentary box for tonight's race?
I don't know, Natty, who's joining you?
I don't know, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, how's it going? Dan here, also known as the Stout Dan. I've been doing a lot of tech work for Gavra Racing, and thank you for inviting me onto the commentary box.
And sorry about the previous stream if you were watching it. We had a bit of a lobby glitch where people couldn't see each other, but we are now here and ready to go for 32 laps of the Red Bull Ring in these Super Formula cars. We already have done the qualifying session. If you didn't see that, the the grid will be on screen in a minute when we get starting. I'm just going to put ready in the chat. Never mind, we are ready to go. Final begin in 6 seconds for 32 laps here at Austria.
Yeah, 32 laps is going to be a lot for these drivers. We did notice that the cars tend to be a little bit slippy here, so I don't know what to expect. We don't know what to expect, and hopefully it'll end up with a good turnout, but you know, it's just how it is, man.
Yeah, definitely. This is the starting grid tonight. Jetsy on pole, followed by Bonnie, Dan, Kryptex, Colin, Dutchy, Tiger, Connor, Dano, Woody, ND2 Saint is just starting grid. I think I've done that pretty. I think that's the best. You know, for the second time since I last done commentary, I don't think that was too bad. But anyway, here we go. We've got 12 drivers on the grid for 32 laps of the Red Bull Ring. It's Jetsy on pole. We've got the 5 red lights, and it's a lights out, and away we go. And once again, Bonnie Evil off to a good start, jumping Jetsy before we get to turn 1. Someone hasn't moved off the line. I think that's Dutchy. In towards turn 1, Kryptex to the inside of Jetsy as Kryptex gets to move down up into 2nd place. As the Red Bull getting out of shape, it's Woody down to 7th, now 8th place, going wheel to wheel with Dano in the run up towards turn 2 and 3, but leading the way is Bonnie Evil, followed by Kryptex. Under pressure from Jetsy, might be looking for a move. There's Woody trying to go for a move down the inside of Dano, 2 Saint poking the nose in the 2020 Mercedes, the W11 in all of its glory in the run down towards turn 4. I'd say a pretty clean start. Jetsy and Kryptex going wheel to wheel. Jetsy on the medium tyres, a mandatory tyre in this race. Maintains 3rd place for now.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty pretty start from these drivers. However, there was a small problem with Dutchy. I don't know, it might be one of the glitches, but however, so far so good from these drivers. And yeah, we need to restart again. I told you we need to restart again because with Dutchy, oh, I don't know.
It looks like Dutchy is stuck on the grid. Don't know what's going on with these GT Sport servers tonight.
To be honest, Natty, these GT Sport servers, man, I mean, in the previous races we've had, it's never happened really. But it turns out for this particular race, we don't know what's happening, unfortunately. It is quite unfortunate. I mean, maybe it might be maintenance or something, we don't know. However, it is early on in the race, so, you know, it's alright. I mean, it's just a small error, but we will get it fixed, hopefully. I mean, that's how it is. But welcome everyone into the stream. I mean, yeah, we should have just left it. And yeah, apparently according to Kryptex, he's blaming me. That's pretty funny.
Hopefully it's 3rd time lucky with these lobbies. Yeah, not sure what's going on tonight. But we haven't had any issues in the past. We had. Apparently the conditions need to be changed. We'll see if that makes a difference. It's now 4:15. Well, currently it's almost 9 o'clock here in the UK, but 4:15 here in Austria.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, 9 o'clock at night, while it's sunny now, I mean, the weather, it's been quite sunny to be fair, over here, but I don't know where it's like, where you are, but, you know. We may as well just do to be honest, Natty, we might as well do the weather forecast while we're here, you know?
Yeah, we have had similar issues in the past, season 2 especially, we had a few lobby glitches, often to do with different people's NAT types. But it should all be fine. We've had everyone in a lobby for 4. Last week we had the NASCAR event. We got a lot of similar drivers. I think we've pretty much got exactly the same grid.
Hold on, I'm gonna quickly do an internet test, alright? I'll need to join the party and leave back, alright? So keep me occupied. I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
Okay. I'll be back.
And hopefully we can get going again. Let's try and see if someone's doing a lap and we can get an onboard. Let's see if we can get on board with Bonnie here. Let's get some onboard hot lap footage. We are on an out lap, but let's see if Bonnie is going to go for a push lap this time. We can try and get some commentated hot lap going. We might do. I thought that she was going to join the donuts, but it looks like we're going to get an onboard lap. So on the rundown, we'll start here at turn 4. Long run, climbing up through the gears before braking just after the 100 meter board, where Alex Albon and Hamilton had their famous crash, getting on the power nice and early through turn 5, little kink of turn 5, I think it counts as turn 5, in towards turn 6, cautious on the power, making sure not to run too wide onto the gravel, braking, well, did a little tap on the brakes just as the grass starts on the right. Working your way through the gears, flat out now, up in towards the final 2 corners, taking at such high speeds, through the right, down to 4th gear, back up to 5th before going back down in towards 3rd gear. And well, that's a lap round Austria. We did start at turn 4, so we'll keep going down the start-finish straight, up in towards turn 1, braking at the 100 meter board, hooking up the apex nicely, not running wide over the yellow curb, and up the hill, building up speed as we reach the top of the little kink of turn 2 used in MotoGP, in towards turn 3, braking at around the 100 meter board, in towards turn 3, a really easy corner to go too deep and lose the rear on exit, but that is a nice onboard lap with Bonnie Evil.
That should be on the track prize.
Yeah.
That's track prize. But yeah, I mean that corner in particular is natty. Turn 3, or is it turn 2? Yeah, turn 2. I can't count. That's going to be a lot of issues for these drivers, because it's a lot of them, if they're not careful, they're going to spin out. But yeah, I think everyone's leaving and joining back just to make sure everything is okay. But unfortunately, we've never had this type of issue before. But hopefully it gets fixed and we can actually get some race footage for it. Like, not like it took an hour to get everything sorted, you know what I'm saying? So we'll just have to wait and see. But Natty, I have a question, right? Do you think there's going to be any like teasers for the new GT Sports season?
No. Absolutely not. The new GT Sports season will be kept hidden from everybody.
No, right, here's what I know, you're gonna say something, right, but you're either gonna say it during a sentence or you'll say it like backwards.
So like I'll come up with an anagram for the calendar.
Okay, anagram for the calendar.
No, I know everyone wants to know what's on next season's GT Sport calendar, but while we are in this kind of period or practice, you could say, just gonna run through some more events coming up. What's the date today? It's the 4th. Next week is actually the 3 hours of Spa for those who have signed up. For those who haven't signed up, I'm not sure if there is space. I don't think there is, but I'm not sure, so go message this guy, Saint. He'll let you know if there is space or not. If there's no space, then it will be streamed on Twitch, the full 3 hours. Next, it's on the 12th. I think that's Saturday. I'm not sure what the day is. The 12th is. The
12th is Saturday. What time would it be?
I think it's somewhere around 8 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock. You'll have to message Saint about that again, or check the Discord. All the information is in there. On the 17th of July, we have the 24 hours of Le Mans qualifying, and then the week after will be the actual 24 Hours of Le Mans, also hosted by this guy Toussaint. So any questions about that, go message him, and I think everyone's pretty looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the 24 hour in particular, I'm quite excited for it, because, you know, 24 hours of going around the same track in 3-hour stints, so I don't know what to expect from that one. I'm mainly looking forward towards the evening ones, like where it's like around about midnight, and I just want to see if they can actually stay awake for them 3-hour periods, so I don't know, we'll have to wait and see when the time comes, but yeah, with the 3-hour spa as well, Matty, I feel like that's going to be a really good event for these drivers, or for whoever signed up. And, you know, I'll just give them a little taste of what they'll expect to see for the 24 hour.
Yeah, definitely. And is everyone in the lobby? No, there's 13. We're just waiting for one more, I think.
Would it be wise to restart the stream, or are we just
I think it's Dano. And I think we're just waiting for Dano to check his internet. He's just left the lobby, so he's checking his connection, and then we should be able to get back going. And we'll try one more time, but unfortunately, if it doesn't work, then we'll have to cancel or postpone it to another week, because it's already been an hour, and I'm sure people want to either see their families or not be sat in front of a TV screen for too long.
Just have to wait and see. I mean, it's pretty unfortunate, because I was actually quite excited for it, and I'm sure the majority of these people were too. But you know, it's one of them things, unfortunately. So we just have to wait and see. Yeah, it's like I said, we never know these things are going to happen. You know, sometimes they can turn out well, sometimes we can get a bad turnout, but sometimes we can get an internet-like turnout. But yeah, honestly, no idea what's going to happen. If things don't go to plan, and like I said, we'll have to postpone it for another time. But yeah, this event will still go as planned, but we don't know when. So Matty will probably keep you updated and displayed about it, I suppose.
Yeah, so Woody's giving us some rather aggressive burnouts in the rundown towards turns 2 and 3. Just while we're in this kind of practice lobby, not doing much. I was going to say something I've completely forgot. Bonnie, it'll be null and void. No winners, no losers. I can't remember what I was going to say.
I love one of them moments. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Bonnie Evil, I don't think that would be the case. It was only like 7 or 8 laps, so I mean, if it was halfway, then maybe, but no.
Yeah, we used to get this similar problem. I remember Dragon Trail Gardens in Season 2, we got people going backwards around the track now. But we used to have this problem. We had this problem in Dragon Trail Gardens in Season 2. People couldn't see each other. But then eventually we got going. So just having to wait and see if people can get their internet sorted.
Yeah, I mean, this show should have been started before the race actually happened, but I don't know really. It's just one of them moments. I mean, sometimes even though like with these errors, sometimes you may not realise it's you, but like you could be affecting it in some way. But honestly, to be fair, we just have to wait and see. But it's going to be a great race, I'm sure of it. I mean, if we're waiting for a great race, then I'm all for it, you know. But that's how it is, isn't it?
Let's have a look. We've now got 12 people just waiting for Connor and Dano.
And yeah. It's quite unfortunate, to be fair. Well, hopefully everything goes to plan. I mean, before, what happened before? Was it like people couldn't see each other, and now it's like Dutchie was stuck?
Yeah, the first time we had Tiger, Jetsy and Dan couldn't see each other.
Yeah.
Holland couldn't see them either. And the second time we had Dutchie stuck on the grid.
That's a bit weird, but hopefully third time's a charm. I don't even know what Holland was doing. He's trying to go into the pits backwards. Wow. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Not done. Let's find out if Dano's joining back.
Yeah, but for anyone in the chat as well while we're waiting, if you just have any predictions and you wanna share them, let us know. But yeah, like I said, when we commentate, like we'll try and interact with you as best we can. But unfortunately, like commentary comes first. Like, you know, so I guess Gav could edit this bit out, to be fair, right? You can trim it. Honestly, some of the dies, it was quite funny as well, because what was it, Natty? I think it was like one day, it was like you, Toussaint and Tyler, me, and I was just sitting there quiet, and I remember Toussaint and Tyler, they were guessing like 5 of the tracks that would potentially be on the calendar, and he said one of them, and then he just had like no idea. It was pretty funny, to be fair.
Right, finally we should be able to get this race underway. Everyone has readied up. I'm going to put the famous starting soon in the chat. Usually I would stay starting soon then start the stream, but on this time we get the starting soon during the stream. But we're only an hour and 10 minutes late, but nevertheless the show will go on. There you go, the final has begun, which means we will hopefully be getting the race underway for the third time. There's Holland going into the pits backwards, and here we go. I guess I get one more practice start of doing the starting grid before the next season. So your grid for today's race: Jetsi is on pole position, followed by Bon Evil in second, Dan Schneider in third, Kryptex in fourth, Holland in fifth, Play Dutch in sixth, Tiger in seventh, Connor, Dano in eighth and ninth, Woody in 10th, ND in 11th, and Toussaint is in 12th. But once again, Jetsi on pole position. We've seen Bon Evil get 2 really good starts. Can he get another one here today? We've got 5 red lights here in Austria for 32 laps, and it's the lights out and away we go, and it looks like everyone is off the line, and Bon Evil getting a really good start initially. Kryptex as well, looking for a move down the inside. It's 4 wide going into turn 1. Woody on the inside, Connor, Dano and Holland all being forced out wide. I don't think there was any damage. Everyone starting on the same tyres that they did initially in the first time round. In the run up towards turn 2 and 3, you can see a sea of cars now all going for 4 wide. It looks like Holland on the inside of Dutchie, Woody and Dano on the outside getting forced wide. Toussaint trying to thread the needle. It's 3 and 4 wide still going through turn 3 into 4. This is the race that we want to see. Connor just ahead of this battle here with Holland, Toussaint going wheel to wheel, Dutchie on the inside, Woody now late on the brakes to the inside as well. Dano trying to swoop it around the outside, Toussaint through the middle, Dano getting onto the gravel like Alex Albon did a few years ago. But overall a clean and competitive start. Finally we are racing here in Austria. Toussaint and Woody now still going wheel to wheel. Toussaint trying to make his way through the field after missing out in quali. Starting from the back, is up into 9th place, and what a start we've got here in Austria.
Really strong performance there from Toussaint, and he has a chance, because we know what he's like. We've seen him in previous GT Sport races, and he's just managed to make a move there on Dutchie. However, Dutchie goes back on his side, goes to the switch back. However, will Toussaint try to make a move? Doesn't, unfortunately, but so far so good. However, Toussaint and Dutchie both got time penalties. But towards the front of the grid, the top 5 drivers, Dan Schneider and Tyler, they are making a little bit of close contact. Tyler is trying to look for the move on the inside of Dan Schneider, and he managed to do it. He managed to hold it off into turn 2. Tyler was on the inside. Beautiful move there from Tyler, and well performed. But Dan Schneider, he will want his revenge there.
Yeah, good start from Tiger as well, making use of his overtake button. We got a few people damaged. Woody's got front bumper damage, and Connor has got rear bumper damage, so potentially a bit of contact made between those two. They'll be able to repair that in the pits if necessary. But looking at the tyres, Jetsi starting on the mediums, Dan also on the mediums, Dutchy on the mediums, Toussaint on the mediums, Woody on mediums, Dano on mediums, and Connor on mediums. Everyone else on softs. The mediums is a mandatory tyre. So you could do a one stop for fuel and no tyres, or you could put the faster soft tyres on and go to the end of 32 lap race on lap 3, and the fuel's about 17 laps if you don't save, so it's going to be interesting to see who can take their fuel the furthest, and finally we have made it more than 3 laps in this race.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good start from all these drivers. However, Tyler is gaining on Jetsy. What is up for the move? Jetsy's got a time penalty of 1.9 seconds. However, Tyler goes on the inside of Jetsy. Another great move there in turn 2. And he will be gaining the lead towards Kryptex. Hopefully he'll make that move. However, so far so good from the rest of the drivers. Clinch start so far. However, unfortunately, Connor and Nano got a little bit of issues there. But so far from the rest of the drivers, so far so good.
Yeah, definitely, and Tiger's already used a lot of his overtake button, and if you didn't watch the previous stream, the overtake button in this game is similar to the one in NASCAR, in IndyCar, sorry. Not like F1, it doesn't recharge, you only get a limited amount to use for the entire race, so we're on lap 3 out of 32. Not long into the race, we're about 10% through the race, and Tiger has already got about 70% of his overtake left.
Yes, I mean, really good start, like I say. Dan Schneider and Holland, though, they are looking for a little bit of a scrap. Holland is trying to look for the move there. I don't know if he'll be able to do it right now, but they are going along the straight into turn 2. Holland looking really close on Dan Schneider there. He's trying to look for the move on the outside of Dan Schneider. Will he be able to make the move? He's thinking about it. Dan Schneider holding it on the inside of Holland, and quite unfortunate there from Holland. Dan Schneider doing really well to maintain that position.
Holland using a bit of his overtake button on exit. He's just tapped a little bit again to give him a little bit momentum in towards turn 4. The 2010 Red Bull, I think it's the 2010, maybe 11 Red Bull, down the inside of Senna's famous McLaren. These two in the battle for 5th place now, going wheel to wheel in towards the fast swooping left-hander of, I believe it's turn 5 or 6. Down Holland round the outside, 2 Dutch drivers fighting for position, and it's Holland who gets out on top into 5th place and will be hunting down his fellow Dutch driver of Jetsy, currently in 4th place. It's a Dutch 4, 5, 6, 7 and a British 1, 2, 3 in the early phases of this race.
I mean, really good from these drivers, and Tyler is trying to look for a move. However, he goes round the outside, makes a little bit too wide in the graph. However, he's got a half a second penalty. However, Kryptex and Bonnie Evil, while you've been commentating there, Natty, I've looked really closely at these two drivers, and Tyler is trying to go for the move. A little bit of contact there in between Kryptex and Tyler. Tyler losing that position, allowing Jetsy and potentially Holland to get past him, but we don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Tiger,
maybe a little bit of contact on the rear.
I think Tiger's serving his penalty as Jetsy gets a bit loose on the rear. That's going to give Holland and Tiger the momentum. I'll get back onto that in a minute, but this battle for 3rd place, Holland to the outside of Jetsy, 2 Dutch drivers fighting it away. Holland around the outside, a little bit loose on the rear there. That's going to allow Jetsy to keep it through the inside. They're still going to go wheel to wheel in towards the kink of turn 5, in towards turn 6, but it's going to be Holland who gets out on front, and unfortunately Dano has disconnected. We're down to 11 drivers in this race, but I think Tiger going into turn 1 was serving his penalty, ghosted and then unghosted, so made contact with Kryptex and then lost the rear on the curb, which allowed all the cars behind to gain momentum through turn 2 and 3, and it's now dropped down into 5th place, but will be trying to fight his way back through the field as quickly as possible.
I think Kryptex here, he is looking for a move on Bonnie Evil. Bonnie Evil and Kryptex really close, down to about 8 thousandths of a second in between each other. I'm not sure if they make a new move there. However, currently on pole we've got Bonnie, Kryptex, Holland in the top 3, followed by Jetsy, Tyler, Dan Schneider, Play Dutchy and Toussaint in the top 8. However, Toussaint, while we're on the top of him, he's gradually getting onto Dutchy here, so it's all to play for these drivers, but right now clean driving. However, Kryptex and Bonnie Evil, they are trying both a little bit of a scrap here along turn 3. Don't know if he'll be able to do it successfully, but you know, Kryptex, he's a little bit of a feisty driver. He tries to go on the inside of Bonnie Evil, manages to do successfully. What a move done by Kryptex, and Kryptex will be defending his position in 1st place.
Yeah, brilliant switchback from Kryptex there. Got the run towards turn 3 and set himself up for a move in towards turn 4. Lovely stuff from your Premier Series Constructors runner-up. I didn't know what to say there, but Kryptex racing in both the F1 leagues and in GT Sport. Done pretty well this year in GT Sport. Had a good battles with myself and is now leading this race here at Austria. His fellow Red Bull teammate, I could say, from the freshman, and in this race as well, Holland Campion making moves up into 3rd place and is now the highest Dutch driver in this race. But it's currently a top 8 dominated by British and Dutch. Here goes Bonnie Evil looking for a move on Kryptex to the inside. Kryptex going to go wide and get the switchback moves. Takes a bit of curb on the inside, but will get a good run down towards turn 4. Hasn't got the best of runs. Has used a bit of his overtake as well. But will settle in for P2 for now. Might go for the outside move. Holland maybe trying to make it 3 wide. Isn't quite close enough to do it there. Kryptex getting a little bit loose on the rear. Just getting onto the Astro. Lucky not to get onto the gravel. Otherwise that would have been him off to the Shadow Realm. But settles in 2nd place for now.
Yeah, really good driving from the top 3. However, the top 3, Kryptex going on the inside, looking for the move on Bonnie Evil, does it successfully, and Holland, he's gained the position here too. However, great driving from these two drivers in particular, and Holland and Kryptex, they may be looking for a little scrap here when they go across the final corner, down the main straight into turn 1. So far, very clean driving. However, Jetsy, he is looking very close with Tiger on the move on Bonnie Evil, so it's all to play for, really.
It's currently a 1-2 for the Red Bull livery Super Formula cars. We have a very wide variety of different liveries here. We've got the Red Bulls from 2014 and 2010. We've got the McLaren from the early 2000s. The 90s McLaren, misclick there from Ease, but that's Holland up into P2 now. P3 as he gets a little bit loose on the rear, a little bit of contact with Bonnie Evil. Stays in 3rd place for now. We've also got a 2021 Aston Martin, a 2020 Mercedes. Really nice variety of cars here.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate there from Holland because he was trying to maintain the position there, but Bonnie Evil just managed to slip in from the outside. However, in other news, Bonnie Evil and Kryptex, I thought they were going for a shot there. It was just a weird camera angle, but looks like I was right. Bonnie Evil trying to have a go at Kryptex, trying to gain back that 1st position, but however, great driving here from Kryptex, Bonnie Evil and Holland. A lot of battling between these 2 drivers in particular. So let's see if Kryptex can maintain his position and hopefully get the champion.
Yeah, it's going to be beneficial as well for Dan Schneider and Jetsy, both starting on the medium tyres, being able to keep up with these guys. It means they can go for the faster soft tyre in the first stint. Don't forget about the Benetton from Dutchy. Yep, play Dutchy, currently down in 7th place in the Benetton. Actually going wheel to wheel with Toussaint here up in the run towards turn 2 and 3. Toussaint on the outside, inside for turn 2, gets the move done. Up into 7th place, looking back up top. Kryptex and Bonnie now going wheel to wheel through turn 3 in the run down towards turn 4. You can see Holland Campion as well getting involved. Might try and make it 3 wide, as it is going to be 3 wide. Kryptex on the outside, Bonnie on the inside of this contact. The 2 Red Bulls now going wheel to wheel. Kryptex and Holland Campion, the freshmanly teammates, scrapping away for 2nd place in this race as Bonnie Evil now takes the lead of the race. Dan Schneider drops to 7th place, and I can quickly get a replay and see what happened to him if it goes that far back. And he was already in 7th place. Never mind, I thought he was higher.
Speaking of Bonnie Evil, looking for a scrap with Holland. Holland managed to gain 1st place, going a beautiful move there along the main straight into the final corner as Holland is now flying his way. And as we were saying, on the last lap in turn 2, Bonnie Evil did a dive bomb on Kryptex, so that's how he managed to gain the 1st place. But a great move from these 3 in particular. I think Kryptex is looking for a scrap on Bonnie Evil. Let's see what happens here. Kryptex going on the outside of Bonnie Evil, having a look for it. Kryptex getting the half a second time penalty, going wheel to wheel into turn 2. Bonnie Evil just manages to make the move. Will Kryptex go for the switch back? Doesn't. But however, great driving here.
We can get an onboard shot of Kryptex POV here inside the helmet. You can see up in front Bonnie Evil and Holland going wheel to wheel. Kryptex going to take advantage of that and go down the inside of Holland as well. They're going to go wheel to wheel up and towards the fast swooping left-hander, but Kryptex gets ahead just before Bonnie runs a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Kryptex. He might take the opportunity to go for it. Couldn't quite get the move done. There's a little bit of contact there. That's going to force Bonnie wide. Kryptex now going to go wheel to wheel, get the little switch back. There's a bit of contact, a little bit of wheel banging between the two, but Bonnie Evil now leads the race going in towards lap 11. Kryptex actually now takes the lead of this race after a little bit of argy-bargy through the penultimate corner, finds himself leading. Bonnie picks up a 5/10th penalty for track extending in the final corner. Here comes Bonnie Evil now looking for a move down the inside of Kryptex. Holland as well is going to set himself up for a move on Kryptex. There's contact, and that's Bonnie into the wall. I've clicked the chat button by accident, and that's hugely unfortunate for Bonnie Evil.
I don't know what happened there. I don't think Kryptex was able to move as best as he could because Holland was in a little bit of a battle there. But however, it does allow Holland a major lead. But as you can see on the replay, Kryptex tries to make a move, Bonnie loses the wheel, goes straight into the barrier. That's really unfortunate. But however, Jetsy and Tiger now are in a battle into turn 3. Tiger going on the inside of Jetsy, tries to make a move, unfortunately doesn't. However, he did lose the wheel a little bit there, and now he's gaining the position. But Kryptex and Bonnie Evil, I think that might have been by accident there, Holland. Not Holland, no, I thought you were Holland there, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, an interesting one. I can't remember who it was, but I know one of them, I think it was Bonnie, went into the corner serving a 5/10th penalty. Not her fault completely, his fault, sorry. It's just the game mechanic serving the penalty, and then I think as he unghosted, I think got a tap from Kryptex on the rear because they were inside each other, got onto the curb, and then that's how Bonnie span, and then was just collected by Kryptex, and that was just Jetsy, sorry, going wide. That's going to allow Kryptex to go round the outside. There's a bit of ghosting with the penalties as well. Jetsy running wide at the first corner. That could give him an increased penalty. I keep clicking the chat button by accident, as that's a 5 penalty for Jetsy. And the grid is starting to settle down a bit more as Tigers actually finds himself in second place now due to all of this action.
Yeah, really good driving. Like I say, unfortunate for Bonnie Evil there. But however, we have noticed that Toussaint has gained a major advantage now. He's pushed into the top 5 and he's gradually gaining on Jetsy, Kryptex and Tiger. However, Tiger and Kryptex having a little battle here. Kryptex going round the outside of Tiger, gets the move done successfully. But I feel like Tiger and Kryptex, these two are going to have a little scrap, followed by Jetsy and Toussaint gradually gaining on Jetsy all the time.
Yeah, Kryptex and Tiger might actually start to try and work together to close down a 1.8 second gap to Holland in front, who's burnt through his rear tyres more than the cars behind him. Jetsy doing well on his mediums in 4th place, and for tyre wear, Rick Holt in the chat saying if this game had the F1 2021 damage model, Bonnie would, well, they would all be out the race. Yeah, to be honest, that is a fair point, Holland. Rick, with the new damage model for F1 2021, I'm super excited for it. But yeah, these guys would definitely have got a lot of floor damage and side pod damage, etc. So they would probably be out of this race. I'd say Dutchy would probably be winning. And Dutchy doing what Dutchy does best, he is saving a lot of his fuel. Well, maybe not a lot, but he's definitely saving fuel.
Yeah, but however, if you look at the tyre conditions now for these drivers at the front of the grid, they are starting to go just a little bit. Toussaint, like you said, doing his best, currently on lap 13, but half a tank of fuel there. So, well played by Toussaint, as these guys will be pitting eventually. What strategy do you think would work here, Natty?
Well, Toussaint starting on the mediums. He might try and go to lap 18, I was going to say 15, but that's way too early. They have about 17, 18 laps of fuel in the car, so they might try and extend it to one more lap and make the most of the soft tyres. Woody, on the soft tyres, I think he started on mediums potentially, so he could go to the end if he can save enough fuel, but the gap's now coming down out front. Kryptex got about half of his overtake button left. Holland's got a lot. So overall, I think Holland, Jetsy and Toussaint, in terms of fuel and tyres, they're in a really good position here to fight for a podium or the win of this race.
Yeah, really good. strategy there from them three drivers in particular. But Toussaint will have a major advantage here. And however, in other news, Jetty and Tiger, them two are really close to each other here. I wonder if Jetty might look for the move on Tiger into turn 3. However, Tiger really good defending there as they go into turn 3, along into turn 4 across the middle sector. But Jetty is trying to look for the move. However, really close contact between these two. As however, Toussaint is gradually catching up. So we have a feeling now Toussaint might get involved in this little three-way battle.
Yeah, and there's a three-way battle for third place. As you say, Kryptex closed the gap down to Holland out front. Now only 7/10 between those guys. And well, this battle for third place, in terms of liveries, it's definitely, you could say, an interesting one. You've got a concept Aston Martin with the lime green stripe instead of the pink, against an early 2000s McLaren versus a 2020 Mercedes. And here goes Jetty looking for a move on Tiger, up the hill through turn 2 into 3, and a sharp 90-degree right-hander. Can he get the move done? Down the inside he does. Toussaint might even follow him through. Does well not to light up the rears on exit. Sorry about that. That's going to allow Toussaint now to get a good run, on the Aston Martin in front, but not close enough to get the move done, and just pushes to Tiger through the corner a little bit there. But Jetty moves his way up into third place, and Tiger down to fourth place. Will be hunting him maybe into the pits in the next few laps.
That is very true. I mean, Toussaint and Tiger were teammates in the previous GT Sport seasons. However, Tiger got like roughly half of his tyres used there, with roughly a quarter of fuel tank. So these drivers will be pitting eventually. Toussaint may have the advantage here by an extra lap or two, but so far so good. Tiger and Toussaint in particular, these two were previous season drivers in the previous GT Sport League, so you know, these two might work together a little bit, you'll never know.
And there's the message in the bottom left. Woody has also disconnected from this one. Unfortunately, we're now down to 9 runners as we're halfway through this race. Lap 16 out of 32, and you can see the lap times starting to go up a bit from quali. You can see Bonnie's fastest lap was a 1 minute 13.7, and we're now in the 16s, just approaching the 17s. The top two still in those crucial 1 minute 16s. Kryptex just dropping into the 17s, so we'll start to see some slower laps. And Dutchy's taking this one more cautiously than we're used to him seeing. Normally he's up there fighting at the top, saving fuel, but this time out he's opting to stay towards the back of this pack, and now down in 7th place, saving a lot of fuel, and hasn't used any of his overtake, so we'll just have to wait for him to pounce, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Dutchy does know what these cars are like, so they do tend to slip if he does a bit too aggressive there. But you know, it's just how it is really. I mean, it's unfortunate for these drivers because, you know, once the car spins, that's it. You're done for basically. So by playing cautious, I think it might be the strategy here. Maybe a little less contact, a little less battling, and just gradually gaining towards that top position there. But however, Kryptex and Holland, these are getting quite close between the two. Kryptex and Holland in particular, these two might have a scrap eventually, and with Jetty potentially joining in.
Once again on board with Kryptex. He's gaining in the slipstream of Holland. Is he going to go for it down the inside? He is going to send one down the inside. Can he make the move stick? The two freshmanly teammates. Holland, I don't know if there was contact there, but Kryptex getting all out of shape on the rear. I'll just flash up a really quick replay from the chase cam here to see if there was contact or whether it was just Kryptex getting loose on the rear. And yeah, there was no contact, just Kryptex getting a bit early on the throttle. Now drops him down into 3rd place.
Quite unfortunate there. I mean, he had such good rhythm, but that little slide, it kind of boosted him a little back away from the grid, so he'll have to gradually push himself to ensure that he gets back behind Holland, potentially getting that pole position. But meanwhile, towards the back of the grid, Dutchy gradually gaining on Dan Schneider with 6/10 behind him. As Dutchy right now, like you said before, he's playing cautious, which is an advantage for him because he's gradually gaining them positions.
And yeah, after that unfortunate, a minor incident for Kryptex, not ideal. You can see they're losing a little bit of the rear again through turn 3. Maybe it's time for the soft runners to pit. As the medium runners, you know, Toussaint not getting that much wear as Tiger's actually dropped down to 6th place. So we're just going to get a quick replay, see what happens to him. It looks like he just got a bad exit through turn 3, not allowed Toussaint and Dan Schneider to get through up into 4th and 5th respectively. So maybe it is time now for the soft runners to pit for the mediums, and in a few laps we'll see the mediums in for the softs.
Yeah, I mean, these drivers, they're trying to use the best they can with the tyres here, but some of these drivers are quite low on fuel as well, so maybe that 1 or 2 extra laps will get them into the pits, fresh set of tyres, fresh fuel, and they'll be able to push themselves towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we see in the F1 2020 game, or in any F1 game, as Kryptex going to go for a move down the inside of Jetsy. I'll finish that in a minute. It's Jetsy and Kryptex now going wheel to wheel up the hill in towards the little kink of turn 2, up towards turn 3, and looks like Kryptex going to get the move down up into second. Actually, he's going to go for the move for the lead down the inside of Holland Campion. Can he make it stick? He gets lots of wheel spin. You can almost see him just losing it on the overtake button now, and gets moved down up into the lead of the race. But what I was going to say about the F1 game is the undercut being the most, really powerful in that game. But in this game with refueling, some would argue that the undercut is a lot more powerful than the overcut, because you can put less fuel in the car and you'll be on fresher tyres. It does mean though you will be on the slower tyre earlier, and well, this game has this weird thing of worn softs are about the same as fresh mediums, but it's whether you take the risk. You don't want to be, take your softs too long and lose too much time. You can see Kryptex in the 1:17, maybe he'd be in the 16s on fresh mediums and high fuel. We won't know, but now we will know as he darts into the pits and Jetsy follows him in as long with Dan Schneider. Tiger also into the pits with some medium runners in. 3 drivers stay out.
I think because of what the previous 2 runs we've had, they know what tyres work best on this track. But right now, Toussaint and Holland in the top 2 at the minute. They know that they need to push themselves further. Holland's losing time to Toussaint. Toussaint trying to make the move on Holland. Will he make it on the inside? Not quite. However, Toussaint and Holland sitting on these 2 drivers in that because these 2 will be battling a bit with Dutchy behind. However, Dutchy losing a little bit of control of the car. Maybe these drivers are pushing without 1 or 2 extra laps. However, Toussaint is looking for a move on Holland down the inside into turn 3, and with successful moves there, Toussaint is pushing himself and currently in 1st place, and it's a really good performance here, especially here, Natty, because Toussaint started from the back of the grid and now he's in 1st place. So really good performance here from Toussaint.
Yeah, definitely up into the lead of the race from the back. It's the last question mark for him. Hasn't pit though, did start on those medium tyres and he's pulling over to the right hand side. This could be an indication of him coming into the pits, and it is an indication of he's coming into the pits. Holland Campion also follows him into from the softs and medium tyres. You can see Toussaint was able to save a lot more fuel. Dutchy also into the pits with about 11 litres more fuel, and this is where it's interesting. Kryptex, 2 seconds ahead of Jetsy, has got a lot less fuel than these guys. There's 12 laps to go. They've got the indication there's 12 laps. Obviously we can't tell how much fuel they've got, but it's going to be interesting to see whether Kryptex underfueled or not. Judging by his fuel bar, I don't think he has. Half the fuel is about, well, it's 17 divided by, so that's about 9 laps. I reckon they can go to the end.
Yeah, I agree there, but also Kryptex might be looking for the fuel saving because he wants to push himself, right? But he also needs to make sure that he fuel saves. So maybe he's looking to fuel save quite a bit here if he wants to have a chance. But hopefully, if he doesn't have any contact, maintains his position throughout the whole race, he'll have a chance of winning.
Possible mistake from Dutchy. He's dropped 4.8 seconds behind Holland. Saved a lot of fuel. Has put in a lot of fuel, to be fair. Holland's put in half a tank, Dutchy's put in 3/4 of a tank. So interesting fuel strategies. It looks like Dan and Dutchy Jetsi as well, they've put in the most fuel. The others put in about half a tank. So, well, a full tank when I was doing my testing is about 17 laps. And my fire alarm's going off, so just bear with me for a few minutes.
We all like Natty's fire alarm going off. Natty, hurry up, I'm talking. Right, but in the meantime, however, Kryptex and Jetsi are trying to look for a little bit of a scrap here. Kryptex is gradually losing time towards Jetsi. Jetsi might look for the move here as they go into turn 1. Manages to maintain position here, but Jetsi will have a look there on the main straight. Probably into turn 2. Kryptex and Jetsi, yeah, these two are going for a scrap. So Jetsi going on the outside of Kryptex. As successful moves there from Jetsi, but Kryptex be able to make a switch back? Not quite. However, Jetsi has the advantage now, but Kryptex ignoring these two drivers because Kryptex and Jetsi are going to have the chance here. Matty, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. The house hasn't burnt down yet. Dan Schneider going down the inside of Kryptex for second place in this race. Down at turn 4, Kryptex getting a bit loose on the rear. Promotes Dan Schneider up into second place. Also, Jetsi getting the move done into the lead of this race as well. It's a Dutch 1-2 at the minute, English 3-4, and then followed by Dutch 5th, 7th after that. Quick note to see what everyone's saying in the chat, but before I do, Toussaint and Kryptex now going wheel to wheel. Kryptex starting to struggle a bit on the medium tyres, the front 3 all on the softs after starting on the mediums, and Kryptex down to 4th place.
Yeah, quite unfortunate for Kryptex. He might be losing his momentum here, but we honestly don't know. Toussaint coming in with the fastest lap, however. Toussaint's pushing it. He's going to be calling for that number 1 spot there, Natty, as he comes in with a 113.1. So that means he's got the speed, he's got the momentum, and he's got the pace. So he will be having a look. However, in the meantime, Jetsi and Dan Schneider are having a look for a little move. Jetsi going a little bit wide there, allowing Dan Schneider to gain a close advantage on Jetsi. Dan Schneider going on the inside of Jetsi. Will Dan Schneider be able to make the move? Dan Schneider having a look, loses the position towards Toussaint. Toussaint going round the outside. Great move there from Toussaint, and Toussaint is gradually gaining his pace towards the number 1 spot. Great driving here from these guys.
Yeah, 2 replays there. The first one, Kryptex running into the back of Toussaint down at turn 3. He's now got front wing damage. The second one being the move there at turn 4. Toussaint getting the move done up into second place on those fresh soft tyres, joined last minute in this race. It's actually hosting the lobby to see if it makes a difference. It has made a difference, turns out, as we have been able to complete 23, now 24 laps of the Red Bull Ring in these Super Formula cars. Darcy seems to be struggling a little bit here. He's now, well, he's 2 seconds behind Tiger and Holland, both on the mediums. It looks like the medium tyre runners starting to struggle a bit.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they might have noticed that the mediums are struggling. They might have done a lot of testing on the softs here, but they don't know about the mediums, so the mediums are kind of making them slow down a little bit here. But in other news, clean driving from the top 3, Kryptex in 4th, trying to maintain his position there. However, he's gradually trying to gain time, but also is losing time towards Holland in 5th. Tiger in 6th with that 0.2, well, 2/10 time penalty there, and Dutchy and Tiger, we might see a little scrap from these 2 drivers.
Yes, well, talking about Dutchy struggling, he's now gained 1.5 seconds in this, half a lap alone in the Benetton livery, gaining on Tiger for 6th place. We're currently down to 8 runners as Andy currently brings up the back of the grid. But overall, I think it's been a fairly clean, competitive race. We had that unfortunate incident with Bonnie and Kryptex earlier. Wouldn't really blame it on anyone, to be honest. I'd say racing incident. Kryptex ran into the back of Toussaint a lap or 2 ago. He's got that damage to the front wing. That's going to hamper him in the later stage of this race, but we've only got 7 laps to go. It's gone fairly quickly. There's about 10 minutes left in this race, and Holland's actually dropped down to 7th place. It's going wheel to wheel with Tiger. There's contact. Tiger into a half spin, was saved by the Red Bull, and I'm going to just get a quick replay of that because I saw that halfway through.
I mean, Tiger and Holland close contact there. On the replay, yeah, Tiger just went a little bit too wide there, allowing Holland to make a move. However, Kryptex has got major damage. Whatever's happened to him, he's managed to lose 3 positions, so he was from the top and now is in 7th, allowing Dutchy to try and gain an advantage here, but I think he'll be maintaining 4th place here if I'm completely honest. However, in other news, Toussaint and Dan Schneider and Jetty, these 3 drivers are the main ones to focus on personally, because these 3 drivers have been battling the whole race.
Yeah, unfortunate for Kryptex, sorry, it was looking really good from him in the first half of this race. Just went a bit wide like Bottas did in qualifying, and well, that's now seen down to 7th place. Meanwhile, Tiger and Holland battling away for 5th place. New Aston Martin versus old Red Bull, and it looks like the new Aston Martin comes out on top on this occasion, but it's not going to be over yet. There's still another straight to go. Tiger in front this time, Holland with the slipstream and a lot more of his overtake button to use with 6 laps to go in 6th place. Can he get the move done? Not quite. He's not quite close enough to have a look at anything there.
I like how your enthusiasm just dropped as soon as he says, "Oh, not quite." You're like,
"Oh no, he's failed."
Like, but in other news, however, we can bring that enthusiasm just a little bit up, and that is Jetty and Toussaint. These 2 drivers are going to be looking for a scrap. Is Toussaint going to have a look on Jetty? Has a look at there, but I don't think he's managed to do it. But however, Toussaint has got the pace, so I have a feeling he might get in a position of 2 here in the door into turn 1. Fairly clean there as they go down the main straight into turn 2. Will he make the move? Toussaint gradually gaining on Jetty. Close enough contact between these 2, and here they go, Jetty and Toussaint. Toussaint on the inside, manages to get in the 1st place. Will he have the shot right hander into turn 2 to hold it? Manages to do it successfully, and Toussaint into top position when he came from last. Phenomenal racing here from Toussaint.
It's been a last question mark, a challenge for Toussaint, and that question mark is currently being replaced by a big fat number 1 as he leads this race after 27 laps. He has 2, soon to be 3 Dutch drivers gaining on him as Dutch is 5 seconds behind and pushing. I keep opening up the chat, I do apologise about that.
But in other news, Jetty and Dan Schneider, these 2 drivers are going to look for a little bit of a scrap here, or otherwise they might work together here as we go into turn 8, the final corner. Sorry, I don't even know what that corner was, that's my bad. As we go into the 1st down main straight into turn 1, I have a feeling that these 2 drivers, they might be working together in order to gain time on Toussaint and also have a chance of getting at least a 2nd or maybe 1st position.
Yeah, definitely. Jetty runs wide, might pick up more penalty. He does, an extra 5 tenths. Here goes Dan Schneider. Does he go for a move? He doesn't, so but like you say, possibly working together here. As you can just see the wheel spin, the smoke coming up from the rear tyres through turn 3. That's going to give Dan Schneider the momentum to go for a move, but it looks like these guys might be starting to work together. Dutch is still 5 seconds behind. Holland and Tiger battling away for 5th place with 4 or 5 laps to go. And currently Tiger is in P5 with Vettel's Aston Martin. So good. Car number 5 is in P5. Runs a little bit wide though, but it's able to maintain 5th position. Dan and Jetty still working together, it seems. Toussaint's got a 1.1 second lead, almost out of the slipstream range just yet, but the slipstream isn't as powerful as in like the GT3 or the GT4 cars, so we'll need to be a bit closer if to make a lot more inroads on Toussaint. But overall these 2 doing a good job, and Toussaint with the pace to keep the lead of the race so far.
Yeah, great racing there from Toussaint, but however he does need to manage the fuel. Yes, and maybe he's doing laps, however that fuel management is key here in order for Toussaint to maintain that position in the number 1 spot. However, Jetty and Dan Schneider looking for a moving on each other. Dan Schneider goes on the inside of Jetty, gets the move done. However, Toussaint, if he manages to keep this position, he'll instantly have an advantage here, because if you notice that Dan Schneider and Jetty both got a 2nd penalty.
And more importantly, the gap's open to 1.7, 1.8 seconds. Big tank slapper on the rear for Dan Schneider, and they're now out of the slipstream range. Holland going down the inside of Tiger and towards turn 4. The Dutch driver getting ahead of the British drivers. Yeah, Tiger gets a little bit loose. A little bit of a tank slapper on the rear there. Car number 5 now moves down to P6 in this race, 3/10 behind Holland in front. And we'll be looking to try and get back past with 3 laps remaining. But Toussaint now starts lap 30 out of 32 and is looking good to take this one. Don't want to commentate or curse anyone in this race, but it's looking good. Dutchy has only gained a second on the past few laps, and I know that's not a lot, but it doesn't seem enough. He needs to gain 2 seconds a lap now to gain on Dan Schneider, let alone overtake him. But he does have a 3-second time penalty now, 2.3 being served at the braking zone of turn 3. And
yeah, if we look at Tiger and Holland, sorry to interrupt you there, Tiger and Holland are going for a scrap. Tiger goes on the outside of Holland, manages to get the move done into turn 2, beautiful move there down the main straight, and Tiger is now up into 5th place. But keep an eye on these 2 drivers in particular, because I've noticed these 2 are the ones who might have a lot of battling if you want to have a chance of being in 5th place.
Yeah, car number 5 back up into the number 5th spot. Vettel's Aston Martin with a green stripe rather than the pink one. Again, we've got some nice liveries on this grid. I like the selection of different liveries. Toussaint though, 2.5 second lead as he starts the penultimate lap. Started last place. Pierre are saying the way they take turn 1 is not fair. Looks like yeah, you can see there Toussaint going by the track limits. Jetsy running wide. We do have the penalties on the strongest setting, because as you can see in a minute, Jetsy has a 3.2 second penalty going into turn 3. Goes down to a 2.3 actually seconds. So that's why we got the penalties on strong. They can go wide and cut the corner. They can serve it, but they'll get much more of a penalty. So should encourage them to stop cutting the corners. But you know, some might try and abuse it a bit more than others as Kryptex into the pits for some more fuel.
With some of these cars in particular, when they try to go aggressive, they might go a bit too wide. So when they go a bit too wide, yeah, they don't have a chance of getting a penalty there. But if Jetsy keeps his penalty, and if he doesn't lose it, Dutchy, if he can get enough time, he'll have a chance of being on the top 3. However, Toussaint is flying with colours here, and right now, Holland and Tiger, these 2 are going to have a look for a little bit of a battle here. Holland and Tiger are 10th in between each other here now. So without doubt a play for here as we go into the final lap of the race here at the Red Bull Ring. And right now, from 11 drivers to 8 drivers, these drivers have done their best they can in order to ensure that they have a chance of winning this race. But fair play to everyone, because these cars are quite hard to drive.
This is going to be interesting here. Dan Jetsy has a 3.8 second time penalty. The gap behind to Dutchy is 3 seconds. And in this game, if you cross the line with a penalty, it will round up to the nearest number. So if Jetsy has a 3.1 second penalty, it will still round up to 4 seconds worth of penalty. So he needs to serve this 3.5 second penalty in the next few corners. Otherwise, Dutchy will find himself on the podium. But as we enter the final few corners of this race, he joined at last minute to mainly host this lobby, let alone find himself driving in the cockpit of the W11. But here we go, your Premier Series champion, your GT Sport Season 1 champion, comes around the final corner in the beautiful black Mercedes to win after 32 laps the first Super Formula event here at the Red Bull Ring. Can Jetsy serve another of his penalty? He can't! Dan Schneider gets second, Play Dutchy gets third, and in the end Jetsy gets fourth after having to slow down on the line to serve his penalties. It wasn't enough, but Play Dutchy finds his way onto the podium. Holland champion comes across the line in 5th place, and looks like he got past Tiger on the final lap, who finishes in 6th place. Andy in 7th, and Kryptex is currently building sandcastles in the shadow realm, doing donuts in 8th place.
Well, congratulations to Toussaint, a fantastic race here at the Red Bull Ring. But however, your I forgot what this event's called. Super Formula Event Champion is 2 Cent. Well done 2 Cent, and well done to everyone else who has joined us here at the Red Bull Ring. Yes, these cars were hard to control, but however, these guys have done the best they can to win, and however, they've done it successfully. So well done to everyone who competed. Well done to 2 Cent, and well done to the top 3 who were 2 Cent, Dan Schneider, and Play Dutchy. Well done, guys.
And you just saw there 2 Cent going from last to first, gaining 11 places. Piero in the chat saying even here Mercedes are winning. It's a shame that we had another Mercedes win, but had it been a different livery, if only 2 Cent had a Ferrari livery, it would have been spectacular. But a great drive from him, Dan Schneider and Dutchy on the podium as well. But that's all from us here tonight at the Red Bull Ring. Join whoever's commentating the Spa race next week. I have no idea who's doing it. I think 2 Cent and Tiger might do a few stints. We might see a few others join in there, so make sure to check that out next Saturday or whenever. I think it's the 12th, and the 12th is a Saturday. So we'll see you then. Message 2 Cent if you want to know the time. I think it's 7 or 8 o'clock UK. That'll be 8 or 9 Central European time. But until then, it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you next time.
And goodbye from me. Take care, guys.